Wealthy winners, it's your girl Saria Rain, and in today's video we're going to be talking about how I dropped out of college and made 100K. So honestly, this is how I made my first 100K. I didn't really know nothing for real about what even a six-figure was. I think I found out what six figures was, well, probably later on that year. Back in 2019, you guys, I was plotting on starting a business. And one thing about me, like I've always been like this my whole life, and that's why almost everything I do is very successful, is because I premeditate everything that I'm going to do. I think about it, I research, and I make sure that if I'm going to start anything, I know exactly what I'm going to do. So back at the end of 2019, when the pandemic was stirring up and nobody really knew, I was in contact with vendors in China and they were already experiencing it. I remember a vendor specifically telling me like they're going on lockdown and all of this stuff, and I'm just like, oh, okay, like, hey, I don't know, as long as I'm getting my stuff. So back in 2019, I was plotting to start my first e-commerce business. It was an online boutique. So comes January, I had finally placed an order for some bonnets, some silk bonnets. If you know anything about that business, then you are a real OG, and I would like for you to comment down below OG, because I just want to know who's coming from me to this channel. So before I even spent the money, I was working a job in 2019. This is the last year that I worked the job, and I was 17 or 16 years old. I was working at Walmart and I was getting paid like $11 an hour, and I was working part-time. And then I was also doing YouTube, but I was not getting no money from YouTube, y'all. I was probably getting like $600 from YouTube or $500. It was not a lot of money from YouTube back in 2019. I know that because it took me a long time to save up to get a car. So I was just saving up. Each of my checks from Walmart was about $600. So I was talking to that vendor throughout December and January, and I finally was like, okay, look, I'm gonna go ahead and place an order with you. A leap of faith. For years before that, I've always been a entrepreneur. I just wanted to do it. I would just look at business names, I would look at business domains, and I would just see like what I could dabble in. I never really did anything. I placed my first order with my vendor, and that totaled up to $600. I had ordered designer bonnets, I had ordered some sedity shades, that's what I called them, and to this day I still call them that. And I think I ordered a few clothes because I just wanted to see, like, test the waters with what I was doing, because I had researched it, y'all. I knew what I was getting myself into. I knew what to profit. I knew all of that stuff getting into the business. So that is step one on how I started to make my first 100K, and I didn't even really know that's what I was doing. So I finally got my inventory around February, and I announced the business. I just made a post and I told everybody like, hey, I'm starting a business, and some people just started following me. I had reached up to 400 followers within like the first month of me posting about it. So then I had went ahead and took, they weren't professional, but I had took product pictures with my iPhone. I had bought a fur rug off of Amazon, and I laid it out and I put them bonnets on there, and I took my own pictures because I knew not to steal pictures. That was something somebody had told me when I was researching. Do not steal pictures. I was just studying the market on what I was in at the time, and it was the boutique stuff, but I wasn't too sure like what it was called back then. I didn't even know I had a boutique. Like, I just was like, I knew that I started a business and I sell bonnets and do-rags is what I sell. So I finally launched my business, and I remember I did not get a lot of sales. I maybe got between 2 and 5 sales my first day, and I was selling the bonnets for $15, and I got them from my vendor for like $3 each. So my profit margin was extremely high, and that's why I had so much profit left when I had closed my business, y'all. Like, I had over 100K left over afterwards. But I don't think I got discouraged. Like, I just knew that just was the beginning. So I just kept posting. I was posting every single day on my business page, and I wish I was lying. I was posting every single day, each of my products, pictures. I had my website. I made my own website. I purchased my own domain. I didn't ask nobody for help, y'all. I didn't have no help. The only thing I asked was I had asked my dad. It was like, I don't know, but I didn't ask him anything that would really, I could have Googled it, but I just asked my dad. It might have been about shipping or something like that, because I didn't really know too much about shipping stuff. So my sales started to finally pick up because I was consistent with my posting. I had wanted to do influencer marketing because I was an influencer, and I was like, I know I could probably get more sales if I reach out to people to help me. So I had reached out to a few people I found on Instagram. I didn't know much about the engagement on Instagram. I didn't know anything. I just looked at them people page, and I was like, yeah, you look like you got a lot to influence, so I'm gonna message you. So I DM'd a lot of people, and like 3 people got back to me, shipped out bonnets to them. I was looking for targeted people that could have a girl and boy, meaning they could take pictures together, because I had seen another competitor, which was a bonnet company, have couple pictures, and I know y'all probably seen these before. They have couples in designer bonnets, and that's what they were posting. They was promoting it. So I was like, I could do that. I had found 2 people. There was one couple, and then there was another girl who had a little brother, and they had posted their pictures together, and they went viral. Both of those pictures went viral on the influencers pages. So once that happened, y'all, I got sales. Like, this was on like month 2 or 3. I got sales. Like, I believe that's like my first $1,000 month. Yeah, like month 3. So we're gonna fast forward from 2020 to 2021. Now I am making sales. I have added several different products. I have added purses. I have added shoes. I had them teddy bear slippers, and those shoes like really did it for me. I had designer onesies. I had so much. I had designer masks because the pandemic was around. I had self-defense keychain. I had the whole 9 on a boutique, and that was my first business, y'all, and I was making money. Like, I believe when COVID was like in its prime, like between April to the end of 2020, I had to have made so much money. Like, that's where majority of the 6 figures came from. So obviously it got very overwhelming, as it was only me packaging my orders. I had my boyfriend help me sometimes. I had my best friend help me sometimes. She was messing up every order, y'all. I had to fire her. She could not do it no more. So it was really just me and my boyfriend. I had COVID packaging my orders. Like, I was very dedicated to my first business, and I didn't even know what I was doing. And that is the craziest part to me, is I didn't know what I was doing, but I was doing everything so right and so good. I just didn't know the terms for the things that I was doing. And to this day, that happens to me. Like, I'm doing stuff that has terms to it, but I don't know that. So now it's time for me to go to college. It is time for me to go to college. I have graduated high school. All right. I done made my almost 100K already. So I'm in college, and I wanted to study psychology because I love brain. Like, I just love humans on why they do certain things. Like, I don't like humans, but I love to know why people do certain things. I love to know why I do certain things. I love to know how people heal. I love to know why people get mad. I just love to love. I love it all. Like, I love anything emotion, which sometimes is a downfall, you know. Yeah, so I went to college. I was studying psychology. I had a minor in business, I believe, and I just was not liking college. I was on campus. I lived in an off-campus student apartment. Like, it was like an off-campus apartment, but it was student living apartment. My boyfriend was always there. I was not really focused on school. I was too busy focused on my business. So I would go home literally like every single weekend to ship out over 100 orders every single week. And I was just like, something's got to give. Like, when I moved there, I'm like, where am I going to put my inventory? I was like, I was going to bring it, but then I can't bring it. My room isn't big enough. And my mom was like, you could just leave it and you can come back and forth and do your orders. So that's exactly what I did. And I did that for maybe about a whole semester. It was overwhelming. It was hectic. I just could not focus on school. I was too busy focusing on posting. I had ended up starting to do lashes, y'all. My business had slowed down at some point in college in them 3 months. My YouTube had slowed down. So I was like, oh, hell no. I'm used to making over $4,000 a week or something like that. It was either $4,000 a week or $4,000 a month. Because, you know, entrepreneurship is like up and down. So I went ahead and started to do lashes in college. So in college, I made a lot of money while I was in college. I was doing lashes and I was making $1,000 a week on lashes on top of my other 2 businesses that I had at the time. And I only did it for like 2 months because it just was not fun for me. It just took so much time. It was definitely a side hustle, and I just quit. I was like, I cannot do this. And I ended up moving back home in January of 2022 last year. So I'm back home with my inventory. I literally chose money over school. Like, I chose money over school. School just wasn't making me no money. The lashes thing was cool. Like, if you on a college campus, you need to do something with a service girl or boy. Do a haircut, do something, because them college kids is gonna buy it from you. That's one thing about them. That is one thing that they gonna do, is buy that stuff. So then around this time when I was living with my mom, I had made my money. Like, I made more money because of my Instagram blowing up, and I was getting traffic from my pages, from my YouTube, from the influencers that I was still getting. I was steadily getting influencers to help me. A lot of my pictures was going viral because I studied my market in the business that I was in. I didn't just jump out and do whatever I wanted to do. Like, I did research before doing, because if you want to be successful in anything, look at the people that are already successful in in what you do. You know, you have to follow something. And if you don't, it will take you longer to get there. You will still get to where you want to get to, but it would just take a lot longer. So much has changed since I had made my first 6 figures, and I didn't even know that's what I was doing. I believe I made around $183,000, and that is not included all of the other payments that I was taking. So then I had YouTube on top of that, and I had my lashes to go for it. That is how much money that I was making after college, in college. If you want a step-by-step on how to do it for yourself, you should really focus on growing some type of influence and learning some type of business skill. It doesn't have to be a boutique. It doesn't even have to be physical product. Digital products is really where it is, but I do have ebooks for your success on everything that I have done in my life. Like all of my ebooks geared to me and what I did for myself. Turn Your Followers into Dollars ebook is everything about how I grew my social media and got my sponsorship deals, and how I grew my Instagram to 100K all within a short amount of time. Like, I put everything in there, and it's only $40 if you are interested in growing your influence, which then will grow your business, which then will grow your financial pocket. If you are not happy with where you are in your life, you should take some type of initiative, you guys. It takes money to make money, and people are very scared of that. I took $600 and turned it into 6 figures. Invest into yourself, whether that's $10, whether that's $40, whether that's $50, whatever. You need to invest into yourself so that you can see success in your life in 2023. And that, you guys, is how I dropped out of college and made 6 figures. The journey was not the smoothest. I just summed it all up for you guys. It was obviously tougher than that. It was more patches, more stuff in there. And if you want to know anything else about my journey, you need to follow me on Instagram, because I do plan on opening up more about those things. If you want to do the same as me, I do have a Starting Your Business ebook. That ebook is exactly how I set my personal business up and every business to follow. There's so much more that I want to show you guys and teach you guys that I know at my age of 20. I did recently have a birthday. Happy belated birthday to me. And I hope you enjoyed this video and got some type of motivation, some type of inspiration. If you're a college student, if you're not, if you're in high school, get started and start that business now, girl. Grow that page. Invest in yourself, so that by the time you're having kids, or by the time your kids are older, y'all are established and y'all are making 6 figures even yourself. It's not that hard. It just takes mental clarity, discipline, and determination to reach these goals. If I can do it, I promise you that you could definitely do it if you put your mind to it. Now hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, so you don't miss anything else or any more gems that I have just for you guys. Bye.